Welcome to the BA Coaches Show, where we talk all things Nebraska sports all the time. Interviews, breakdowns, rants, and more. Expect it all from the Nebraska diehard, Coach Ben Audi. Make sure you click the like, subscribe, or follow button and enjoy this conversation about our beloved Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Welcome, everybody, to the BA Coaches Show. I have a very special guest with me today for a very, very special episode. You guys already know what we're talking about here today. This is dropping on Friday. You guys know what's happening tomorrow. It's the Colorado game. So we all know how much we all hate Colorado. So what I have to do, I had to get the biggest Colorado hater that I know, Bryan. Thank you for joining me today.
Coach BA, Ben, how you doing, man? It flattered that you want me on, especially to talk Colorado. I don't know about the biggest Colorado hater alive, but I will definitely put myself up there. Not to toot my own horn, but like I said before we started recording, avid Colorado hater circa 1988. So that's when it started. I was 6 years old. So it's deep. It runs very, very deep.
Oh, yeah. And I knew just from seeing your tweet, you're a great follow on Twitter, by the way. But I knew just seeing your tweets, I was like, all right, I feel like I need to have someone on who really hates Colorado. I found the perfect guy right here.
I feel honored for that. I really do. So hopefully I can do it justice. Big Red Junkies, I got to give them a shout out because Good Lord, point. Their rant on Dion is...
You're right.
Oh, a thing of beauty.
Oh, yeah. Yes, you definitely need to get... If you do not know what we are referencing right now, go check that out. And it got Colorado fans all sorts of stirred up. Dude, it made it onto, like, sportsillustrated.com, dude.
Yeah. I couldn't believe that. I'm like, you guys really... You hit that nerve just perfectly. When they got other podcasts showing clips of theirs,
right?
You did it right, boys.
Yeah,
you did it right.
That's when you know you made it as a Nebraska podcast.
That's the damn truth.
That's how you know you made it.
I almost felt jealous. I was like, damn, I need to hate even harder. I need to hate harder.
So before we get into the good Colorado talk, we are going to talk a little bit of UTEP because I haven't had a chance to talk to you about how you feel about that. But before we get into any of that, we just got to go through two quick little announcements because, hey, we're on my page. I got to announce some things.
That's right.
So you guys need to remember this. Bryan, I don't know if you know the story behind the game day wake-up streams. I'm doing them at 8:30 a.m. every game day, right?
Love it.
I decided at 8 a.m. last Saturday that we're going to do a game day stream at 8:30. And then it did so well that we're doing them every game day from here on out. So I will not be in Lincoln this weekend. This is one of the only times I will not be at a game. As much as I want to, just got some personal stuff going on here at home. So I will be watching. We're going to have a basically Kansas City. We're going to be tailgating for it the whole time pretty much. So it'll be good. We're going to do a wake-up stream. It'll be a good time. But the other thing we need to announce is if you don't follow me on any of the social media, this will be news to you. Every single post-Nebraska football game, that next Monday morning, 8 a.m., I will be on Mornings with Sharp and Hanley at 1620 The Zone. You guys caught me on there about a month ago. It was a really, really good time. Well, guess what? They're bringing me back every single week. We're going to be breaking down the previous game. And then we're going to be previewing the upcoming week a little bit. So it'll be a good time. You'll be able to catch me on there for, I don't know, however long, but 8 a.m. every Monday morning, I will be on Mornings with Sharp and Hanley. So thank you to 1620 The Zone for giving me that opportunity. Because, hey, I'll tell you, I think, because we talked about a little bit, my YouTube page is starting to like gain some traction here.
A little.
And it started the day I was on there. I gained 80 subscribers the day I was on there last time.
Wow.
So if we keep that rate up, I'm going to be in pretty good shape.
I would say so, Coach. And dude, seriously, a lot of congratulations towards you. I mean, seriously, from the time we had you on with us the first time, from the time I first started talking to you, which was only a couple months ago,
Yeah,
I told you.
I think June.
I told you from the get-go. I said you're gonna rise fast. You are going to blow up. Things are going to start happening because I saw and heard your football mind, the way you could break things down, the way you know today's game, not yesterday's game. You know today's game with the way kids play. I knew, and I'm pretty sure I even texted you this or messaged you on Twitter after your guest spot on The Zone. I said I would not be surprised if you end up being permanent on there soon. Sure as shit, man. Here you are.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I couldn't be more proud of you. I couldn't be more happy for you. The Coaches BA show, I mean, it is amazing what you've done in just this short amount of time. And at this point, bro, sky's the limit.
Yeah, I really do appreciate that. And you're one of my OG boys in this space, you know. You're one of the first guys that have been supporting me. So you guys are always, and I got to get back on Husker Army. I know it'll happen. I'm not putting you on the spot here, but I know it's happening, but I want to be back on because that's a really good time.
No brainer. Anytime you want on, brother, you can ask. I don't mind being asked to be on the show because sometimes there are people I just forget about having on. We just had King Chris, Mr. Happy, on this last episode, who was an amazing guy, who I call the living embodiment of Husker Nation. So
yeah, 100%.
Should have had him on a lot longer ago once I thought about it, but it's one of those things where you get busy, especially when the season starts. As podcasters, if you look for guests, you start scrambling to look for guests, especially if a guest maybe cancels on you at the last minute and you've already announced you're going to have them on. I've had that happen a couple times. And it was through no fault of theirs or ours. It's just scheduling comes up, life happens, and you got to roll with it. So, yeah.
Yeah, I totally get that. So my thing has been as my channel started to ramp up is right as football season's starting. So then I'm trying to balance all of that too. But I knew, like I told you before we record, I knew I was going to have you on. We were going to do this a month ago. And if you listen to this, you already know I got pretty sick for a while and I wasn't recording anything for a while.
Oh,
but
and you shouldn't have.
Yeah, 100% facts on that. There was no show. I tried to. Even my first couple videos back were I recorded 10-minute videos. You can ask my wife afterward. I was dying. I was I couldn't. So
good thing is you couldn't really notice. That was the best. Even as you said, I'm feeling winded. I'm feeling very less energetic than I started. You couldn't see it, dude. So you hold yourself together extremely well.
I do appreciate that, and I have heard that before because I'll tell you, the 2 times that I've gone on live shows and I have been extremely nervous, people are like, "Oh, we couldn't tell." So I'll tell you, my first appearance on 1620, you can ask. I called my wife 5 minutes before that was supposed to happen. And I was like, I'll say it open and honestly. Now I was like, I don't know if I can do this. This is a big show. I had people hitting me up being like, "Oh, I saw you're announced for this." I didn't tell people about that. They would hit me up and say, "Hey, I heard them say you were going to be on there." And I was like, shit.
There's no backing out at that point.
Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know what to do. I was like, I can't say panic, but I was nervous. I was like, this is big. I don't want to screw this up. I can't screw this up. This is big. This is big. But then and then people would listen to it and be like, "Oh, you did great." I couldn't even tell. So I was like, "What the hell, man?"
That's one of those things. I think the first time I was on with Ken with Jen Red in their studio doing a live one, before we started, my heart started beating a little faster because I'm like, "Oh shit, we're live." I mean,
yes.
What if I say the wrong thing? Am I gonna have a booger hanging out of my nose? I mean, what's gonna happen here, dude?
Yeah, so you know Justin Adams. You've had him on.
Yes, H-Town Husker. Love that guy. Voice of college football for Nebraska. Absolutely.
Yeah, so he was the first podcast to ever have me on.
Wow.
First one.
Lucky
and
son
he does
bitch.
it live. live in front of like 5,000 subscribers.
Yes.
And it hit me like the day of. Like I knew, oh, this guy has a big channel. Oh, this guy does his show live. It hit me as I'm preparing for that show. I'm about to go live in front of potentially over 5,000 people.
I don't know if I could. He's asked if me or Kenny or Matt would want to join, or all three of us on one of his. Now, he mentioned he does it live, and
Yeah.
I have no problem with it. It's just like you, dude. Even doing my own podcast. I don't like to call it my podcast. It is definitely owned by all three of us, me, Kenny, and Matt. We all contribute our part. And that's why I don't ever call myself the only host, and I don't call them co-hosts. We are all hosts on 100%. Husker Army.
That's what I love about your show.
Yeah, we have fun. I mean, Kenny is a blast to have on. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, we're either, as far as a fan podcast goes, we're either the only one or one of the few that have a former Husker as one of our hosts.
Yeah,
so, it gives us a little unique.
Whenever I pitch your show to people to check out, that's what I pitch it with.
That's what I pitch it as. I tell them not to watch me or Matt. Get on here and watch a two-time national champion.
Yeah. Hey, I pitch it as you guys as well, but I say like Kenny Cheatham's on there, and that's Kenny Cheatham's on there. You know what I mean? And
that's how I feel. And that's why I was stoked when he agreed to actually do this with us. I was like,
he is awesome, by the way. Like Kenny is awesome.
So laid back, so chilled, easy to talk to, has still a good football mind, even though his playing days are far behind, and he may not really know the intricacies of it now, but he still knows enough of it, and he gets it.
It's awesome. And I'll say, like, I got to get Kenny on this show. He's already agreed. He's already agreed to it, so I'm not trying to throw this out there.
And I gave you his number, right? I gave you his number, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
I've talked back and forth with him quite a bit, actually. So, like,
he'd be great to have on with you, dude.
Oh, dude, I am. It'll happen. It'll happen. It might not be till after the season, but it'll definitely happen because, hey, he's already agreed to it. I have it in writing, so there's no getting out of it now.
Yes. Yep, you're signed up, Ken. Sorry, brother. You're signed up. The contract's already on the dotted line, man. You can't back out now. Not to mention, I'll message him and be like, get your ass on there, dude.
Oh yeah. So while we're kind of talking about your podcast a little bit, I know this is kind of hard because I hate when people do this to me, but like, where your podcast?
Could you repeat it real quick, Ben? I cut out on my end.
You're good. You're good. I was just saying, like, while we're talking about this, I hate putting you on the spot because I hate when people do this to me. But where can we find your podcast at?
Oh, simple to find. That's the great part. If you literally just Googled Husker Army Podcast, because I had to do this to myself to find out where the hell to find us, because we don't have a website or anything. The great part is we're the first thing that pops up, and it's our YouTube channel. So you'll find us, Husker Army Podcast, on YouTube. Audio onlys are Apple Podcasts, Spotify, I think the Amazon Music or Podcast, whatever they have. I know Brock, our producer over at Herdat, who have been amazing for us since we signed on with them. I'm not even sure all the audio only platforms he's got us out on, but I know it's quite a few more than what it was when I did it. Thank God.
Yeah.
And then as far as social media goes, you see it right there by my name. Anybody that might be listening and not watching, it's at Husker Army Pod. And that's just Twitter, Instagram. That's the only two places we are. I'm on Facebook by myself, but I still promote the show on there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really cool. Before we're kind of getting into UTEP, just something that I know I asked you guys this for a question and answer, but like, just tell my audience, like, how did the Husker Army podcast get together?
Wow, that's funny because it's kind of a crazy story. We weren't even that to begin with. We started in 2018, Frost's first year. It was me and a friend of mine, Frank Burns, who now lives in Hawaii, so he can't do it anymore. But awesome guy, amazing dude, one of the greatest Husker fans you'd probably ever meet and talk to. Very solid family man when it comes to his kids and everything. He put it out there on Twitter. back in 2018 before the season started, I want to start a Husker podcast. Is there anybody that'd be willing to come on and talk Husker football with me? It was like 9 o'clock at night. I'm at work. I'm on break. I was like, yeah, I'll do one with you. Why not? I don't know you from a hole in the wall, but you're a Husker fan. We could talk Husker football. That's literally how it started. And we were the Scarlet and the Cream Husker podcast from 2018 up until, oh God, it had been just 2 years ago. Frank had to step away. He had some personal issues he wanted to deal with and asked me if I would take over. So I did, started us up on YouTube. Started to find out that there was a page we couldn't post our stuff on Facebook. And it was the Husker Army Facebook fan page. And I messaged Matthew Malone, who is the creator and runner of that page, does great charity work for Husker Army. He said the only reason we don't is because of how much charity work we do in the community. We do somewhat work with the university, the radio shows. Without our name on it, we just can't promote it on this page. But he asked, would you be willing to change the name to Husker Army? I had to think about it for a solid week at least. And I talked with Matt, I talked with Kenny, and we just decided, the name fit. It just, the way we could roll with themes, the way we could roll with, I mean, you see it when I sign off for us. You're all dismissed. I give the salute. Yeah. It was just one of those things. It was a great niche, and Matthew Malone over at Husker Army has been great for us. He lets us have the freedom to pretty much say what we want. We don't drop C-bombs, at least. That's pretty much the only cuss word we have not dropped. But doing this as Husker Army since just 2 years ago, we've seen significant growth, and we've noticed we're having even more fun. I mean, for God's sake, we won a podcast award for X's and O's last year in August. So the way we've been able to grow this and just being able to be Husker Army, I love that because it's just so easy to say. And it's nothing against what the name we had before, the Scarlet and the Cream. It just always seemed like when typing something like that out, just such a long name seems like it takes so long to say. But I mean, here we are now, and it's hard to believe I've been doing podcasting since 2018. It's been 6 years now. Does not feel like that, but we have a blast. That's the thing. We're not experts really, except for Matt. Matt's a recruiting guru. That's why I call him that. He's ear to the ground, always on recruiting. But Kenny, with his football mind and being a former player, playing at the highest level possible, that's a no-brainer. Being a former Husker, a multi-time national champ. Then you got my dumbass, who has just been just a diehard Husker fan since I came out of the womb. So, as I've explained, my dad named me after a Husker player back then. I couldn't tell you who it was, but he stepped in. My mom wanted to name me Quentin. My dad stepped in and said, no, I like this player for the Huskers. His first name's going to be Bryan. So, Dad, I love you. Thank you for doing that.
That's pretty cool.
I would never would have wanted to have been called Quentin. I'm telling you that right now. It just never would have fit.
That's funny. So I'll tell you, I hope my son has a good story like that one day. So my youngest son, I'll tell you, I named him Bo after Bo Pelini.
Yes. I love it. Dude, I'm telling you.
I love Bo Pelini. In my first big tweet I put out, like I just made the BA Coaches Show Twitter account, like first week I've had like a Twitter account specifically dedicated to the BA Coaches Show. I put out a tweet that was basically like, if you think Bo Pelini should have got fired for Mike Riley, you don't know football. That blew up. So that's how strong I feel about it. And I got a son named Bo after it. So I think that's kind of cool.
I love that, dude. There you go right there. There's Husker Nation fan, and I love saying Husker Nation. I always hashtag it. To me, that's what we are. We are a nation. We're a family. We're a fan base. But that's what we're about, dude. We're nuts. We will name kids, pets, cars, couches, TVs. We'll start naming things Husker people just so we have them named as one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I love being a part of this fandom. And ever since I publicly became a part of this fandom, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, you could tell on your show before, when you were doing with high school coaches, you could still see the Husker fan in you. And he was struggling to just rip his way out, dude. I could see it. So now that you're doing this, dude, I am not surprised as to where you are now. The subscribers you've gained over just the last month alone, getting on 1620 The Zone. You've had great guests on your show. You had Nick Henrich on there. You've had Justin Adams, Ken from Gen Red. You're doing amazing, dude. So whatever you're doing, just take the little critique anybody may give you, but don't listen to it 100%. Keep doing what you're doing, but just make little tweaks as you go. You're doing fucking great, dude.
I really do appreciate that, dude. I really do. Hey, you want to talk some football?
Hell yes.
Yeah. All right. So I don't know if you heard. There was a game that happened last Saturday. Just a little thing in Lincoln. I don't know if you've heard of it. A team called the Nebraska Cornhuskers made a triumphant return to Memorial Stadium. And man, it felt good. I was there at the game, but I'd love to think, what were your thoughts of the game?
Dude, first of all, I'm jealous you were there. I really wished I could have been. Unfortunately, I had to work a double that day, so I had to watch it at work. I apologize to anybody that I may work with that gets to watch this. Yes, I watched the game at work. Shut up. I don't care. Husker football, it was going to happen. Be thankful I was there during the game. So, that being said, dude, I had butterflies in my stomach before kickoff. I get that way every year before the first game, period. I know what I'm feeling has to be magnified tenfold with these players. And the way they put all those emotions and those butterflies in check after getting the little jitters out right away in that first quarter, that speaks volumes to me of this coaching staff and how prepared they had these guys. And now these guys have gotten to the point where they almost don't need, these upperclassmen don't need to be coached. They understand their role, they understand their job, and they can now coach the underclassmen. But watching this on TV, man, Raiola was everything advertised. That's all I could have hoped for. I was really hoping not to see the flop that we have seen in past when we've had highly touted recruits come in. And then the defense. As I said on our show, I wasn't sure we would see a better product from the end of last year to this year, just because of how big a strides they made as that season progressed last year. Yeah. And we saw a better product. As I said, we saw better tackling, better flow, better communication. It's like these guys were not caught off guard by anything except Hartzog getting burned on one pass play.
Yeah.
And after that happened, you could tell Butler probably talked to him on the sideline saying, that shit ain't going to happen again, young man. No, it won't. And he made up for it later.
Yeah, he got it back.
I couldn't have been more happy, Ben. I really couldn't have. As far as opening games go, and the way we talk every year, especially when we play a team like UTEP in that caliber, a Group 5 team, or even an FCS team, we always talk about we need to handle it and take care of business. We don't like to say it's an automatic win, but in our heads, we have scores that we know will look impressive and ones that will look shaky. Like last year, 28-14.
Yep.
That's shaky. That we knew that. 40-7, not to mention scoring 30 by halftime and only doing that twice in entire games last year.
Yeah.
Couldn't have been happier. And then watching the chasing 3 last night. Watching those guys talk during halftime saying, keep it moving. Keep it going.
I was so hyped.
Oh, God.
I sat here, all the lights off, headphones on, watching it on my TV. I don't watch a lot of like YouTube on my TV. The chasing threes I do.
Yes.
I put my headphones on. I get it super dark in here. And dude, I was hyped.
It's the job that they have done doing that whole series.
Yeah.
The production value has been great. Bringing in the old video voice of Husker football from I remember owning the Decade of Dominance videotape in 94 or 95. The ones they made. That's the narrator for Husker football. And to hear that again, when I haven't heard it since an early teenager,
Yeah.
warmed my heart. And getting to see everything they do behind the scenes now, Rule is not afraid to bring you in, but he's not going to show you everything.
Yeah. But man, I love that guy. So I'll tell you, to echo kind of what you said, talking about the butterflies. So here's something that about me. I get more anxious watching Husker games than any game I've ever coached in my life. Whether it's league championships, playoff games, whatever. I have been like, I'm usually pretty cool. Husker games though, so I'll tell you, you've listened to my stuff. Like I was obviously super confident going into this game. I was giving like 30-point win score predictions. Sitting in the 7th row of that stadium right around kickoff, you can ask the people around me. I was getting nervous. I'm like, I don't care about score. I just hope we fucking win. I didn't care about anything else.
Like, in the back of your head, you're like, just don't fall on your face, please. That's all I don't want you to do.
It all went out the window. Everything I said all week, it all went out the window. I said, I don't care. Just win. Just win. I don't care.
That's how we are, though.
Yes. Can I tell you why I'm like that, though? It was Georgia Southern. I'm like that from here on out after that game. I was at that game. The only game my wife's ever been to, and I don't know if I'll get her back.
Damn. Wouldn't blame her. At least for now, I wouldn't blame her one bit.
Yeah, that was a game. We made the trip up. We left early that morning. We left, went up there, and yeah. I don't know. I talked about it with Nick Henrich. He knows my. I was very honest with him about it. I was like, yeah, that was one of the worst games I've ever felt in my life, and it didn't help that I was there for it.
No, and the fact that game even happened, that's when I go back to what I said. We don't like to count games as automatic wins anymore. It's not like it was back in the glory days. You can't look at the schedule and be like, okay, that one will be a win. That'll be a win. You can't pick 3 or 4 games that are automatic anymore. Even your out-of-conference games. It doesn't matter if you're playing a Power 4 team or a Group 5 team or an FCS team. It doesn't matter anymore. The disparity in college football is just so vast. It's crazy nowadays.
We saw that last weekend. Like even Oregon got a run for their money from Idaho.
Wow. Michigan having issues with Fresno State.
It's crazy. Crazy world of college football.
You gotta love it, though. This is the time of year to be alive.
Oh, yes, it is. I'm just so glad we're here. So talking about this UTEP game, did you have who shined to you? And I'll kind of tell you who I have, but like if you had to pick one person on offense and one person from defense, who shined in your eyes?
Offensively, I mean, I know it's probably a cop-out for everybody. It's got to be Raiola. I mean,
I'm with you. I'll tell you right now. That's who I have. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah, the confidence he showed as a true freshman just during the tunnel walk. I mean, calling on the fans to give him more. Like, you're going to get what you want. I've got you guys. And to lead them out onto the field in the tunnel walk as a true freshman. And then to see his poise on the field. He never panicked in the pocket. If it wasn't there, he was okay with throwing it away. The contested balls that he threw up there were one of 2 places. Either his guy's getting it or nobody's getting it.
Yes.
You can say, if you want to nitpick, you can say there's a few times he put it in harm's way, but it was never really in harm's way.
Yes, 100%, man.
And
I'm 100% with you on Dylan. I'll be real, just overall looking at that game, I don't know, you've probably seen on Twitter, I had to unfollow some other Husker podcasts this week because I'm like, if you watch that game and are pissed off by that, I just can't. It's nothing against them personally. I'm not going to call them out by names, but like, I'm just going to be real. Like,
and see, I don't even know who you're talking. I might have to ask when we're done. When we're done with the recording, because
I'll tell you,
it was kind of baffling me. I was like,
"Oh, dude,
I know quite a few Husker podcasts. Which one of them is dumb enough to start being upset about a 40-7 win when guys, we ain't won a season opener in 5 years?"
Yeah, I was listening. I was driving, right, working yesterday, throwing my headphones. and I'm listening to these people complain about we didn't win by enough, and I'm like, oh my God, this is bad. And then they kept going. I'm like, oh my God, this is really bad. And then I gave up on it after about 10 minutes.
No.
It is what it is.
All
Again,
right.
hey, I'll tell you who it is off camera. But
yeah, I do. I was curious when I saw the tweet.
There's one I saw two, but there's one in particular that I followed for a while, and I'll tell you, like, they seem like good dudes, but I just couldn't do it anymore.
Okay. And see, I was really wondering because I saw you put the tweet out there, and I saw there was one other account that they follow us, we follow them, and they had mentioned that they listened for like 10 minutes and shut it off because
I bet it was the same.
He just goes, it was bad, and he put bad in all caps. Yeah. And I knew it wasn't us, so I wanted to be the smart ass, you know. I wanted to be like, we'll do better next time. Give us another chance.
Yeah, I saw that.
You gotta, and Ken did the same thing with Gen Red. He knows damn well it ain't him. So
right, yeah, oh yeah.
It was, I've got to figure this out. I've got to be told off camera, dude. I'm so curious.
As soon as this ends, I'll tell you.
Awesome. It makes me wonder if I'm following him or something still. Shit.
But defensively, who shined out to you defensively? I wonder if we have the same answer here.
Man, that was the thing, too. On our show, we did Field Generals of the Week. Mm-hmm. And, of course, Raiola got it offensively, and I copped out on defense as well. I put the entire squad.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you did that. Yeah, I remember that.
I put them as the black shirts.
Hey, I love you, but that was such a cop-out answer.
It was. I know it was. And the only reason I did it was because of how many backups got time and got snaps.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, I even said it. I said it.
Yeah. I remember you did that now. I forgot until soon as you said it, I was like, oh, shit, Bryan did do that.
If I did have to pick one guy, though, one guy that truthfully had a hell of a game and had at least 2 or 3 hellacious plays was Ty Robinson. If I have to pick one...
You're taking mine again.
But that's that great minds think alike, Ben. That's all that is. That's all that is.
Oh, yeah.
The way he was in the backfield so fast, and especially that one where he's there, I think it was the third quarter, maybe the first. Shit, I don't remember at this point. All I know is he's back there in about 3 steps as the quarterback's giving the fake to the running back, and I mean flattened him. Yeah. No penalty, nothing like that. Perfect form tackle, had him in this arm, and just took him down. My God. You heard more of Ty Robinson than Hutmacher.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So Ty Robinson, and again, so speaking about UTEP a little bit, I think Scotty Walden's a very good offensive mind.
Yes.
I do. However, I would love to have one conversation with him because I have one question for him. And again, I compliment him. I complimented him before the game, right? My question to him is, did we really think that leaving Ty Robinson as the read key on so many plays was a good idea? I mean, I'm not trying to trash it all. My question is, what led to that decision?
Maybe,
you get what I'm saying?
Maybe Ty's a little quicker than they expected.
I think so. Because I'll tell you, like, offensively, as an offensive play caller, there's like one rule that a lot of offensive play callers will live by, and it's, hey, if you can't block them, read them, right? And that's it goes high school football all the time. Hey, you're going against, hey, this guy's going to Kansas State. We're not blocking him. We're going to read him on RPOs all night.
Perfect.
Right? The problem is when Ty Robinson is so big, but he was explosive. I think you're probably right. That's probably what it was. There's no way they could have been prepared for that. Because like that safety was in the backfield. It's insane. That's the clip I did. That's a defensive clip I had on my breakdown this week of just like, hey, this isn't a scheme breakdown. Just look at this behemoth right now.
And they did that about 3 or 4 times throughout the game, even with backups. I'm blowing those plays up as the RPO is coming. I'm like, holy crap. Like, you're not even giving them a chance to think.
Yeah.
Credit Tony White. Credit Tony White for the defensive scheme, and credit the players for executing it damn near to perfection. -1 play, Hartzog. Gotta call you out,
Hey,
dude. Gotta call
it's
you
all
out on
good.
it. You made up for it,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you can be called out on it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%.
You know,
So,
Butler called him out the next day and game film for it, too.
Oh, you're dang right. I have no doubt about that. So before we move on to the real reason you're here, anything else you want to throw in about UTEP or not really?
I mean,
we both talked about it on both of our pages quite
a
bit.
The fans. I mean, seriously.
Yes, you're right. We need to mention
my God.
Good call.
It has been so long since, I mean, granted, yeah, streak since 1962, 63, something like that. We're approaching our 400th sellout against Illinois on the Friday night game this season. The fact that crowd was electric, and it has been a while.
Yeah, I'll tell you, something felt different. I'll tell you from the moment I shut down my stream, and then I went, got ready, and then I left probably a half hour later to go tailgate. Shout out Mike Delaware of MBNR for inviting me down to the tailgate. Something felt different, like during that period. Like I'm like, okay, something feels good here, right? I don't know, just Lincoln, Nebraska on game day is always cool, but just something was a little bit different. And then like you get in the stadium, and I'm like, God, this energy is just like, I haven't felt this in a while. I haven't felt this since I was a little kid and like Bo Pelini was here. So I'm like, what is going on? And then like that first third down, that 3 and out, false start, then have to burn a timeout. I'm telling you, Bryan, I can look at you in your eyes through the camera, kind of like, not, you know what I'm saying? That was as loud as I can remember it for a group of 5 opponent. Like
by far.
I had been there for like Nebraska, Iowa games. Like it's been loud. Last week was louder than last year's Nebraska Iowa game. I'll tell you that right now.
Wow.
It was crazy. It was just crazy. Now I expect this Saturday. We'll get into that in a minute. I expect this Saturday to blow that out of the water. And I expect like Wisconsin later in the year to probably get a big thing. But like for a group of 5 opponent, that was not even a night game, 2:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It was as crazy as I've ever seen that place.
And the best part about it for me, I think, is for one, you could hear and see it on TV as well. That was the great thing to me. I was like, my God, that like, I know it's the first game of the season, but it's UTEP. It is what it is. But
that's what blew me away.
Yes. The fact that the fans, I think we're starving at this point. It is literally what it is. But that starvation is going away because we have a lifeline in the form of Dylan Raiola. We finally see what happens when you have competent quarterback play, and that's no rip on Purdy or Harburg at all. It's definitely a rip on Sims. Sorry, buddy. You're just not. You've got the talent, you've got the mind, but you can't get out of your own way. I'm sorry. You could probably be a great coach.
From me on that.
Probably be a great coach someday or something like that, but as a player, buddy, you play in quicksand. You just do. Yeah. I'm sorry. But finally seeing some competent quarterback play, we see what can happen. It opened up the running game. I mean, we had, I believe it was 6 or 7 different running backs carrying the ball that day. Been so long. I think that's why the fans loved it so much and stuck around to the end. It's been so long since we've been able to pull guys out that early, get them real game time experience, some meaningful snaps, and you didn't see a drop off.
Yeah. I'd say the biggest thing for me, and this is going to sound really shitty, but I'm going to just kind of say it. This is the first time in a while that I have had like 100% full faith in the entire coaching staff.
Yes.
And they haven't even proved it with a ton of wins yet. Yeah. They haven't. They've won total of 6 games in
6 games.
One season and 1 game now. But like, I have 1,000% complete faith in them. Like, this is a very good coaching staff. So I think that's part of it. And like you said, obviously Dylan is a big part of that as well. Like,
it does help.
best freshman quarterback in the country. In
Nebraska history too.
Yes,
by far.
Huge.
And that's no knock
Huge.
against Adrian Martinez, no knock against Taylor Martinez or any of those guys, but you guys could not throw the ball like this. That's for damn sure.
100%. But all right, enough about UTEP. No offense to the university.
Yeah, we're just a day away from the biggest hatred I've ever felt for anything.
Yes, Colorado. Please, I'll give you the floor. I hate to put you on the spot, but I'll give you the floor.
What? This is a spot I'll take. This is a spot I'll take, Ben.
You already know what I'm at. Just what? Why are you mad, bro?
It's Colorado. I'm going to tell you this right now. There's zero respect for that team from here, period. I will never, ever give them any credit whatsoever. I'll never wish them luck. The only time I root for anything out of Colorado is when Colorado State plays Colorado, and I root for Colorado State. Other than that, I go give a flying fuck what happens to that state, its teams, period. I don't like Boulder. I don't belong there. I will not step foot in that state. I am convinced I'd burst into flames if I even pushed a toe across state lines. This goes all the way back to about 1988 for me. I was 6 years old, and I was sitting there watching the Colorado game with my dad. And I wondered why there were oranges being thrown onto the field. I was very young, didn't understand bowl games, things like that. And as the years progressed, it just keeps going. And I'm noticing every single year, and you got to think this is so far before social media and things like that. Internet's not even around for households at this point. God, I'm dating myself. Ooh, that's a ways back. But I'm talking like the Bill McCarney days. When he coached Colorado, he's the one that coined us as their rivals. Mm-hmm. First off, where the fuck you get off doing that? We didn't care about you enough to call you our rivals. We didn't care enough about anybody except Oklahoma to call our rivals. Because you're nobody. You still are nobody. You always will be nobody. So every year that we played Colorado, there is no other team I adamantly rooted against and said more obscenities about. And they're all warranted. The way they've treated our fans in Boulder. Matt, who is our recruiting guru, went there with his dad when his dad was around 4 games in Boulder. They would come out. One guy tried picking a fight with Matt and he was 12 years old. I mean, seriously. They come out, they're completely harassed, they have shit thrown on them, they're spit on, they're threatened with physical violence, their cars are messed up. It is a shit fan base, a shit program, a shit school, shit coach, shit players. I've never liked them. I'll never have a single good thing to say about them. And as far as I'm concerned, they could lose every fucking game of every season, and I couldn't care. As I've said on our show, that state could be wiped off the face of the map, and I would not blink or care. Fuck Prime, fuck Shador, fuck Shiloh, fuck Hunter. I forget who the other damn receiver is. Horn. Fuck Horn. Fuck Warren Sapp, too. Hey.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry I dropped so many F-bombs on that one.
No. This is why I had you on the show.
I have never felt, and I don't like using the word hate because it is a very, very strong word. And nobody deserves it. Except Colorado. I don't even like referring to them by name. If you notice on social media, it's always the Buffaloes or CU. I will not refer to them as the Buffaloes or Colorado. Matter of fact, I always say you can't spell the C-bomb without CU. It's exactly what they are.
I've seen you say it. So yeah,
they got nothing on us, and they constantly yap for no reason. You've been more of a bottom feeder than we have. Yeah. So where they get off trying to be cocky and be arrogant, and these fans that have come out of the woodwork since Dion was hired and trying to say that they've been lifelong fans. Lifelong is a lot longer than 2 fucking years, people. I'm going to tell you that right now.
100%. One of my favorite trends I'm seeing right now on Husker Twitter is anytime they're made. That's all you have to do. You take the screenshot when the account was made, and it's always been within the last 2 years.
Yes.
Every single one.
Yes. And they keep praising Prime, and the guy does nothing. And thank God we didn't hire him. I know there's some people that thought it would have been a great hire for us. No. I knew damn well it wouldn't be. And look what he's done. Here's the sad part. The guy, still to this day, has not made a single actual in-home visit for a recruit. He believes they should come to him. That's not how it's fucking done, dude. You want to know how it's done? Watch our coach, buddy. Watch our staff. This is how you build a program. This is how you build tradition, culture, brotherhood, family. Prime isn't it. And he's going to bail as soon as his kids graduate, too.
Oh, that's the thing, is if you're a Colorado fan, I'll tell you right now, if you somehow come to Lincoln and pull it off and shock both of us, that's the thing. You better hope you win every fucking game this year.
Yes.
Because I'm telling you, this is your one shot. Like, you're done after this year.
Yeah.
Your whole program is gone. Like, you've destroyed the high school recruiting base. Completely done. Like, that's gone. All the transfers, as soon as Prime leaves, everyone's transferring out of there. You went all in for last year and this year. Last year, you won 4 games. You better hope you win a bunch this year, because after this year, it's done for you, dude.
I think they're going to be lucky to win 4 again this year. I really do.
Oh, I'm with you on that. But if you're a Colorado fan, like,
they're winning it all.
This is your year. Like, yeah, you better hope so. You better hope so, because I think 2 years from now, I don't see them winning 2 games.
No, I think in a couple years from now, they'll probably be right back where they were before Prime got there.
100%. I 100% agree with you there.
Yeah, I can't wait for this. I really can't. So, the hatred is so deep over here that I literally cannot fathom this game not going our way. Because if it doesn't, I don't know if I'll even get on social media, because I won't be able to not go off.
Yeah. I get it. So kind of getting into Saturday, what is your expectation from the crowd perspective? What are you expecting from the Husker faithful on Saturday?
Electricity. Making it deafening. As Will Compton said in the hype video right after the tunnel walk for UTEP.
Yeah.
4 quarters, no asses in seats. You stand up. I want you treating this bigger and louder and more meaningful than 2014 Miami and Lincoln. And that's the loudest that stadium has ever been. In my lifetime, even in our glory days, that is the loudest that stadium had ever been. We need to duplicate that and take it to another level. Watching this video of them trying to simulate our crowd noise, you have no idea what you're coming into. You would have to damn near fill your stadium twice over to even get close to the loudness you're going to hear. You're not going to be able to hear yourselves think, great, I'm giving a little bit of luck to Shador here on trying to audible, because you ain't going to hear shit. Your guys ain't going to hear shit. It's going to be a very, very tough day because of that crowd. I know we all tell them, stand up, be loud, cheer the entire game. I think this is one game we don't have to say a word to Husker Nation.
Yeah,
100%. And, I mean, having the 94 national title team there to honor them for the game as well. They're honoring Coach Solich before the game. As if you needed anything else to give this crowd to be more out of their minds.
Oh, yeah.
This place is going to erupt.
Oh, yeah. Hey, did you see, like, right before we're recording this, balloons are coming back Saturday, too.
Oh!
They're bringing the balloons back Saturday. Yes! Like, right before we got on the call is when I saw that tweet.
So the helium shortage must be done. Awesome.
I don't know. We'll handle that part later. I just know that they're coming back. That's hype.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is something I loved as a kid as well, going there.
I love that.
I never understood that tradition the first time I went there. My dad got me a balloon. It was the Iowa State game. I believe it was 1991. And I'm like, well, I'm a kid. I'm like, okay, cool. I got a balloon. 9 years old. Awesome. I got a red balloon. They scored. My dad's like, let it go. I'm like, no, I want to keep my balloon. But he's like, no, that's a tradition, son. You got to let it go. I'm like, all right. And then you look up and it's just tons of red balloons. And you're just like,
yeah,
it's almost better than the fireworks. Almost better than the fireworks.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm very excited to see that. Speaking of
on
the field. Speaking of like the on the field, what are you expecting from the Cornhuskers? You take this offense, however you want to take this. What are you expecting from our team on the field this week?
I'm going to start with the Black Shirts for sure, just because of how they played this past week. Getting those backups in, getting meaningful reps, meaningful snaps, just meaningful time on the field against somebody other than themselves. There's one word that needs to be done Saturday night, and that's pain.
Yeah.
A lot of pain. And I'm talking relentless, violent. It's like people always said, what is it? Relentless, violent, and what was it? RV? Oh, God. Is it disciplined? Is it RVD?
I think so.
Okay, something like that. I know violence is in there for sure, and that's why I really loved it. But that's exactly what they need. They need to stay under control, as they did a great job against UTEP. But I'm talking smothering from start to finish. You don't give Shedeur time to breathe. You don't give him time to react. You collapse that pocket, collapse that O-line like we know you can, because they're worse than they were last year. We saw it against North Dakota State. Yeah. They can't protect. They can't open holes. They can't shift anybody to give Shedeur any time in the pocket. It's just, I think with Ty Robinson, Hutmacher, Jamari Butler, guys like those, they're going to have some fun. But they're going to have controlled fun, and it's going to be violent fun. Tony White's not going to let these guys lay back, period. He is, I guarantee they've been foaming at the mouth since that clock hit triple zeros after UTEP. Because now they could focus. So the pain is the theme for Saturday for the defense, period. Don't get penalties. Don't be dumb about it. Play discipline. Play under control. But every time you get a chance, you take that shot. Take that shot.
Yes, I am expecting the same thing, and I'll say I am very interested. Shedeur, Sanders, the whole game plan, get into his hands and get it to the playmakers, right? And I'll tell you, like, I don't want to give Colorado any credit here, but they do have some explosive playmakers, right?
They do.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, right?
Yeah.
I don't care what happens. He's going to hold on to that ball, punish him. That is the whole theme of the week, is punish him. And he's going to take a beating this year. That's the thing I say. And I say, man, if this game was in week 8 instead of week 2, we're not even having a discussion.
No. As a matter of fact, the spread would be more than 7.5 in our favor.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I'd say the only reason Colorado would even have a shot in this game is just because, like, they're not beat to hell yet.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to be by the end of the year. You know what I'm saying? Of course,
just like last year.
Yes, if this game happened in week 8 or week 10, like, I think Nebraska wins by 30, and I'm not kidding.
Oh, no, I think you're absolutely spot on that. It probably could be worse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Offensively, what are you expecting? Because Colorado defense kind of looked like shit last week. I'm just going to say.
Kinda?
I was being nice. I was being nice.
Yay, it's Colorado. There's no being nice. I'm sorry, Coach Rule. There's no Nebraska nice this week. Never has been, never will be for these guys. My thing is, we need the O-line to protect Raiola. Okay, let us not forget what Colorado did to Adrian Martinez his freshman year in Lincoln. That dirty-ass play of twisting his ankle under the damn pile. We all saw it. Everybody knows what happened. And we know what happened to Adrian after that. He was honestly never the same kid after that. So, protect Raiola, which I think they can do. We saw that their defensive line is a little undersized. They definitely don't have speed up there. I don't know what the hell Warren Sapp's trying to coach these guys, but buddy, you picked the wrong program to be a defensive line coach. You should have gone back to the U where you're from. Sorry, Warren. But I'm expecting our offensive line to be able to open up holes for these running backs. And honestly, once they start doing that, it'll be no problem protecting Raiola in the pocket, because then he can just drop back, 3-step drops, dink and dunk over the middle if we need to. We know damn well he won't, because we've seen it against UTEP. He is the type of kid that's willing to take that shot. He's willing to let it loose, and that's okay. And he doesn't put it in harm's way. I'm okay with that. So as long as the offensive line is my key. It really is. They have to do their job start to finish. Keep Raiola upright. Don't let him get hit. And especially don't let anybody keep a hold of him if he gets hit. Once he goes down, you get your ass. I don't care if you get a flag. Get your ass over there and you yank that piece of shit Colorado player off of him. I don't care if it's by the back of his neck or by his face mask. You yank him off. We're not getting the same shit like we had with Adrian. That's for sure.
I'm all for it. I'll tell you right now, I can't remember if it was last night or the night before, but as I was kind of prepping the blog I was writing on for No Block No Rocks website, I went and rewatched the Colorado game again, right? And I'll tell you right now, if Colorado, I'll tell you, I assume they're going to get better at this, because if they do not get better fundamentally in gap sound, if they don't get better job filling the gaps, Dylan Raiola will not need to throw a single pass. I'm not kidding.
That might upset Dylan.
I'm just saying that we could get an I formation and run the ball the entire day if they don't get better gap sound. And I'll tell you right now, I do expect them to. I do expect them to get better at that, because if they don't, then they're screwed. Like, hey, we talk all the smack about them in the world. They do have at least mid-level competent coaching. They're going to have to get better at that.
Yeah.
So, like, that's going to get better. But because if it doesn't, I'm telling you, they're not going to know what hit them. If you thought NDSU was running the ball down your throat, just wait for what Nebraska's got coming at you, buddy.
And you thought the over 5-minute drive they had against UTEP in that third quarter looked good. I guarantee that if that's what they can end up doing, you're going to see a 6, 7, 8-minute drive, a 17-play drive, 75, 80 yards, methodical down the field, little by little, no fourth downs, maybe a couple third downs, but they're third and short. I don't see anything Colorado did that worries me at this point other than Shedeur, because he can create plays. So please have somebody spying on him.
So Colorado's defense, they did something kind of weird, and I'm very interested to see if they do that again this week.
The whole team's weird, Ben. The whole damn team in state's weird.
They brought so much pressure the entire game, but that left so many open gaps and mismatches in like the run game and the pass game. Like, they completely abandoned covering the middle of the field. That's why play action was there all night. Like, they completely, like, I don't even know if they had a hook zone sitting in there. Like, they completely abandoned it, and I don't really know I don't know. So
Fedoni could end up having a huge game if they do the same thing.
So, like, you know how I try and do things on this channel, how I try and, like, break things down and kind of try and, like, predict some shit, right?
Oh, you mean like the awesome way?
Yeah. I have a very hard time with Colorado, because the only predictable thing about them on offense and defense is that it's kind of unpredictable and weird.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
it's unconventional.
Yes, and both sides. And I'll be real. I was expecting with the new coordinators, I was thinking they'd go a little bit more conventional. Like I wrote that about them. Fuck, no, they're not. That's what I don't know. I don't get. Like I thought with the coordinators they were bringing in, I was expecting at least a little bit more. But like, and this isn't even. I don't even mean this as a knock. Obviously, we are knocking the shit out of Colorado because we hate them. I'm not even meaning this part as a big dig against them. I'm saying I don't know how you game plan against that because I don't know if they know what they're game planning other than, hey, let's get the ball to Travis Hunter or, hey, we're going to try for a sack this play. Like, it's so hard to figure out what they're trying to do.
And see, that's what makes me wonder, as like you said, I wonder what the hell they're doing as well, because with new coordinators coming in, it makes me wonder, because we know, as we've talked about, Deion don't give a shit about anything but himself and his kids. He doesn't care about building this team. He doesn't care about the coaches he hires. Guarantee he hired Warren Sapp just because of the name. Guaranteed. Because where the hell was Warren Sapp even coaching before this? Was he coaching before this?
I want to say, I don't know. I don't want to throw it out wrong. I feel like
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like I might have heard it. I don't even want to throw. I can't remember.
That's what I mean. It makes me wonder if Deion just brought in whoever as new coordinators, and these coordinators get there, and it's kind of like what Satterfield had to deal with our offense last year. Satterfield has a certain way he wants to run the offense, but if he doesn't have the right players or pieces, you've got to change. You've got to do something totally against what you're used to. And I think that's what Bryan just did to these poor guys. They got there and they're promised all this talent. And they get there and they're like, we have 3 guys worth of shit on offense and that's it. What do you want me to do with this?
Yeah. Yeah. Like they potentially have on offense 2 of the top 5 picks in this NFL draft.
Yes.
But they have like what offensive line? Good luck.
No.
Like they lost Dylan Edwards. Dylan Edwards is an explosive playmaker. He's at K-State now.
Good.
What are you gonna do with that? Like, I don't know. But they're just so interesting's not even the right word. But like they're such a weirdly interesting team. Like
the enigma of college football.
Yes, 100%. I really do think. So here's what I said when I was on Husker Central earlier today. I said that like I expect Colorado to score 1 or 2 like really big explosive plays.
Yes.
Maybe they end up being touchdowns.
If it doesn't happen, great job.
Yes, but I expect that. But here's what I said. I think they can do that to anyone in the country. I think they go play. I think they go play against if they played against Georgia at Georgia next week. Just throwing an example out there. I think they lose 80-14. But I think they get a 60-yard touchdown and like an 80-yard touchdown out of that. Like,
yep,
I
completely
think they can
agree.
do that. I think they can do that to anybody, and that's what blows my mind. Is they have the ability to do what they can score a huge touchdown, but fundamentally they're just so bad. Fundamentally, they are so bad, and that's what frustrates me. That's how I couldn't believe when I was watching the game last week. They had no business winning that game, but they had just enough talent to go do that between 2 or 3 guys.
Not to mention Shiloh Sanders, that cheap shot and son of a bitch. He should have gotten way more than 1 flag.
Right? And I also thought it was interesting that every defensive player that's getting a penalty gets pulled off the field, except for one.
Yeah.
Except for one.
Yeah, kind of weird.
I wonder if there's anything to that. I don't know. It's probably nothing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know the player and the coach's last name are the same. I don't know if there's any relation there or not, but yeah, maybe it had. Fuck them, dude. Just.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So as we're kind of wrapping this up, we've been on here for over an hour, man. This is a good time. But
I know it doesn't even feel like we've been on here for an hour. I could rant about these sons of bitches for days. I guarantee it.
It flies by
when you're having fun.
By. Yes. Oh yeah. What would be, as we kind of wrap this up, what would be your key like to win this game? And like, give me a score prediction. I want to hear it.
Oh God, we don't even do that on our show, Ben. Oh, because I have learned my lesson in the past. I'm such a diehard. I'm such a Kool-Aid drinker, a homer. I can never, ever predict us to lose. Even when it's fairly obvious it is not going to go good for us. I can't bring myself to do it, but I also notice that when I can't do that and give a score prediction, I look and sound like a complete jackass. So, this is, I won't give a complete score prediction, but I will say I'm expecting a W.
Yeah.
But I will say I expect the W to be by more than 20 points.
I dig it. I dig it.
The defense is going to lean on them right away. They're going to smother them. Like you said, they may get one or two explosive plays. It's bound to happen. Happens to everybody. You can put UTEP up against Alabama or Georgia. They'll do the same thing on the pass play to them at least one time in the game as they did to us. It just happens.
Yeah.
They're going to get smothered. They're going to get smothered. The defense is going to hurt them. They're going to be so flabbergasted, so spun around in the head that even Prime's going to look like he's going to start looking around and be like, where's my chair? I need to sit down. Can I get out of here? I need to leave.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. For me, I think the like little keys for this are mega important. Not even eliminate, just keep the big explosive plays from Colorado down. Like we said,
yes,
they're going to get one or two. But how many times at Nebraska have we seen a big touchdown, then the offense goes 3 and out, and then, oh, shit, they just got another one? Can't have any of that. Eliminate. The big plays are going to happen. Move on. Hang on to the football, whether it's interceptions, fumbles. Colorado has an explosive offense. We cannot give them any additional opportunities at all. We can't give them a short field. We can't give them, hey, if we can stop them, 4 or 5 times, we're going to win this game. But if we stop them 4 or 5 times, but then also give them 3 extra possessions, we just kind of got, there's no, you know what I mean? It cancels each other out a little bit.
Yep.
Can't be giving them any extra possessions. If we do that, I feel very good about this game. I really do. I really feel really good about it.
Time of possession. I'll put that up there because they did such an amazing job with that last year, and that was something we struggled with last year. Time of possession. If you can, like we said, that first drive they had in the third quarter against UTEP, going over 5 minutes on that drive, and it was methodical. It was never in doubt on that drive. It was just boom, boom, boom. Consistency down the field. You do that to them 2 or 3 times only in that game, you will break their spirit. They'll be gassed. That defense won't want to go back out there no matter how long of a break they may end up getting. Just do it. Break their spirit. Just break their necks. I don't even care.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I am excited. You already know, no matter what happens on Saturday, the first person I'm hitting up is you. You already know.
I'll be right there, bro. I'll be right there waiting.
I'll be excited. But, hey, I'm going to wrap up this episode. We're as much as we have fun talking about it, we got to be done talking. The game just needs to freaking get here.
Yes!
I'm tired of thinking about it all week.
I know, and I'm tired. I've kept so many receipts on Twitter from stupid Buffaloes fans that I can't wait to throw this stuff back out there.
I love it. So I'll tell you, as we end this episode, once Bryan and I are done talking, I'm going to play the hype video that I made for the season right here at the end, just because I want to that's what it's all about. We need to get extra hyped. If you're staying around this long, I know that you either love the Cornhusker so much or you love me that much that you're just sticking around
that right.
for the fun of it.
I'm thinking it's probably a combination of both right there, Coach. I'm thinking so.
Yeah, you're probably right. So we are going to wrap up this episode. We're going to play the about 2.5 minute, little video here. But yeah, Bryan, thank you for joining me today. It has been a blast, and I'll have you on again. This has been really fun.
Coach, I appreciate it, man. This is always a blast talking to you. It's a blast to be on your show. As I always say on ours, it's one of the fastest growing, if not the fastest growing Husker podcast out there right now. And to see where you're at now from just 2 months ago, nobody would believe that you literally just started this 2 months ago as being strictly Husker.
Yeah. I really do appreciate that, man. It's been a blast, and it's going to be even better when we win this goddamn game on Saturday.
Fucking A, dude.
Yes. So with that, as always, you guys know the deal. G, B, R, and in rule, we trust, baby.
But there ain't no victims here. If we die, we die.
Come on running, boys. Don't you hear that noise like the thunder in the sky? How it rolls along in a good old song from the sons of Nebraska. Now it's coming near with the rising cheer that will sweep all foes away. So it's all our ends, we are bound to win, and we're going to win today. In the days of old, Johnny Bender bold would just take that ball in hand, and with Benedict right in front of him, they would set sail for the land. Then Tahiti too, with the chosen few, would be all round everywhere. And before they quit, they would calmly sit down behind that goalpost there. For Nebraska and the Scarlet, for Nebraska and the Cream, though they go through many battles, our colors still are seen. And so in contest and in victory, we will wave them for the team, and we'll always stir a Cornhusker, the Scarlet and the Cream. When the sun is bright and the fields are ripe with the tassel on the corn, you can hear it grow in the evening glow, the hush of early morn. In the state so fair, 'tis the very air that inspires us with a test, that in any fray we will not dismay, but we'll do our level best. For Nebraska and the Scarlet, for Nebraska and the Cream, though they go through many battles, our colors still are seen. And so in contest and in victory, we will wave them for the team, and we'll always stir a Cornhusker, the Scarlet and the Cream. For Nebraska and the Scarlet, for Nebraska and the Cream, though they go through many battles, our colors still are seen. And so in contest and in victory, we will wave them for the team, and we'll always stir a Cornhusker, the Scarlet and the Cream.